Hello humans, welcome back to Michigan Farms. Today we are going to be moving on to our field and actually getting some crops put into it. On the last one, we helped out a neighbor with their field over here and did some fertilization on their sunflowers. But today we're going to be working on our field. So I have a couple ideas about what I want to do in that field. But what we need to first start off with doing is getting up to the store and getting some seeds, because we actually don't have any seeds for our field. So I think that's where we're going to start the day. I think what we're going to be doing is putting in probably like the first third of that field. We're going to be putting grass in because I do eventually want to get cows, and with the cows needing both silage and hay, I want to make sure that I have a grass field. And I think the other half we're going to put in canola. So I'm going to go ahead and grab our cedar here and get up to the field or get up to the store and get some seeds. So excited to be back. I'm excited to continue to progress here. I'm hoping that when we progress on to October, we're going to be able to do some of the harvesting. I don't know if the sugar beets or the corn is going to become ready first, but I'm excited to move on to some harvesting. But while we are waiting for that, we are going to work on this field here on the right hand side and get some crops into it. All right, we are going to get into the store here, and we are going to buy both seeds and fertilizer. So let's go ahead and jump in here. We're going to start off with one of each, just to start, and we'll see how far that gets us. All right, so that first bag on its way in. Okay, so we can fit not a full other bag, but we're gonna go ahead and purchase one more of each. I want to go ahead and get this as filled up as possible. All right, let's go ahead and get that. So that's going to get our fertilizer up to about 80% or so. Perfect, 83. And this is going to fill us up and potentially leave some. Yeah, but that's perfect. We can always come back and grab that in the future. So let's go ahead and get back to the farm, and we will go ahead and get this first empty field of ours finally planted. Excited to finally get some seeds in the ground and get something growing. All right, we are going to get this unfolded and get it turned on and go ahead and set off. I think I'm actually going to make sure I get this crop changed, turn it off, change the crop over to grass. So I think what I'm actually going to do on this first pass here is I'm going to set it off on a worker, and the reason I wanted to do this is because I want this to be as straight as possible across this field. So while the worker is setting off across the field here, let's just make sure, yeah, that's perfect, like right at 1/3, maybe a little bit less of this field. So to the right here is going to be all grass, and then over here we're going to be putting in canola. But while our worker is getting that put in, I'm going to go ahead and get the New Holland with the sprayer moved out of the way. We're just going to tuck it over here for now, just get it out of the way. And we're going to go ahead and head back, let our worker finish this. I'm actually going to go ahead and take over as soon as they get to the end, and we're going to go ahead and get the grass put in. So we will finish this out here. All right. And go ahead and finish the rest of this field here. I'm going to go around the headland to try to make it a little bit easier here. Not really necessary on this side because we've got this nice big open space here with the road, but might do a couple passes on the other side since we've got those power poles or telephone poles on the other side of the field. So yeah, we definitely want to give ourselves some room to work over there. So we're going to go ahead and continue getting the grass put into this field. All right, we are making our way through this field, and it's just surprising me how large this field actually is once you get into it and start working on it. And I thought this would be a really quick pass up and down the field a couple times and get the grass put in, but yeah, it's taken a few more passes than I thought and taken a lot longer, which is great though. Having these large fields is going to be great. Having this much grass for whatever animals we bring on, sheep, cows, all of them. It's going to be great to have kind of a yard extension over here, as well as all this grass to work with. So we are just going to continue working on this field here, and then we will move on to the canola, which I am now realizing is going to be a much larger job than I originally anticipated, but looking forward to working the land over there once we get this grass put in. Welcome back in, and we are wrapping up the final strip here of the grass field. Like I said earlier, it took a lot longer than I thought, but this is going to be great to have this massive amount of grass to be able to work, to have grass bales, hay bales. I'm going to put it in our silage silo. Really excited to have this field actually planted. So what we're going to do now, after we finish up right here, we're going to make our way down to the second part of this field here. And we are going to actually leave a little bit of a gap just to be safe. We're going to leave that gap. Yeah, that looks to be about good. So I'm going to actually get this switched over. We want to do canola. Get that turned on, get that dropped down. Again, I'm going to put this onto a worker to get all the way across. And I actually think that I'm going to use a worker quite a bit for the rest of the canola here because I realized that we need to put some lime down. So in looking at our fields here, you can see that what we're putting down has the first application of fertilizer, which is great. But if we go in, you can see that our fields need some lime. So we are going to probably do the headland here on either side so that our worker doesn't get confused and kind of send them back and forth. And rather than be having them go the long way on the field, which would probably make the most sense, I'm actually going to have them go across the field, kind of just how we did the grass field, so that they don't go over the grass with the canola. So we're going to go up this side of the field here, and then we'll jet over to the other side of the field, do the same thing on that side, and then we will get this put on a worker, and then we will go up to the store and grab some lime. I'm not actually sure if our spreader is for fertilizer and for lime, so we're gonna have to look at that. Don't want to end up in the canal there. So yeah, not sure if we can do both fertilizer and lime with the spreader that we already have, but we will take a look at that, and if we can, awesome, we'll get what's in there dumped out, we'll get that unloaded, and then we will head up to the store. If we can't use it for both, as unfortunate as that would be, that's fine. We can just rent another spreader for the lime up at the store. So I'm going to go ahead and get down this side of the field here to hopefully help our worker out. And when we get back to that first strip that we put in, we'll get it lined up and we'll put it on the worker and figure out what our next step is. All right, there we go. So we've got that all taken care of. Let's loop around the pole here, try not to hit it and get stuck. All right, we're gonna drop it back down and turn it over to the worker. I'm actually also going to go in. I normally don't do this, but I am going to switch up my settings so that they can actually refill the seeds and fertilizer so that they don't run out here. All right, so they are working and have quite a bit to finish up, but we're gonna go ahead and get switched over to our New Holland. Let's see, so the fertilizer spreader we have can only do fertilizer. Okay, so then that means we will be leasing a spreader for lime, but I will go ahead and get this sprayer dropped off, and then we will make our way up to the store and lease ourselves a spreader and get ourselves some lime. turn into the barn here, and we'll put it in the corner. So we'll back this up, get that drop down, get it disconnected, and then we will be on our way to the store. Alright, well, let's get into the store, and we will take a peek and see what spreader we want to go with for our lime. So let's get in here. We'll go to fertilizer spreaders. And alright, so this one is 12 to 18 meters and can do lime. This one here also can. Alright, so either of these, I think we'll go here. Yeah, 42 meters, 4,500 liters, and can do both. Let's go ahead and customize that. Don't really care about the color. $923, that's perfect. Okay, so that was 4,500 liters. Let's go ahead and grab some lime. They're 2,000 liter bags, so we'll go ahead and buy 2 of those. All right, let's go get hooked up to this spreader here and get it filled up with our lime. This working with should be similar to the fertilizer spreader that we have, so we know that that is an amazing working with. But I'm not 100% sure how quick we're going to go through this lime, so we're going to get this loaded up and get back to the field and start to get this spread, and hopefully we can do the entire field here with just these 2 bags, but we will see. I know it's not going to be completely full. I was worried about that. Alright, let's go ahead and get that detached. A little bit heavy on the back there. So we actually have, I believe we have a weight. We do not. Okay, well, let's go ahead and head in here, grab ourselves a weight. Let's go ahead and check out how much does this weigh. 6.3 tons. We don't want to go overboard with the weight, so we'll go ahead and just get we'll get 600. That should be enough. Alright, we'll spin around. We'll get that attached. And then we'll try again with the spreader. Alright, we got that weight attached. Let's get the spreader reattached. Hopefully we're not doing a wheelie again there. Alright, so that's still still is too heavy. So let's get that dropped off. We are going to go back and return that. It's unfortunate. Should have just bought the biggest one. But let's go down here. 650, 600 wasn't enough, so let's go ahead and 1 ton for 1,000. How much more is this? Yeah, we'll go get the 1 ton. And hopefully that is enough. So we'll go here, sell that back, lose a little bit of money unfortunately, but it is what it is. That is my fault for not just buying the largest size that we could. So we will try this again. Alright, so we've got 1 ton on the front here. It's probably a little bit overkill for this small of a tractor, but it's still a little bit light. Nah, we're doing alright. Okay, Well, we are going to get back to the field with this, and we will start getting this put down. Alright, so we are getting back towards the field here. You can see our worker there in the distance is making some good progress. We are going to go ahead and head down to the far side of the fields here and start to get this applied. So we are going to go the long way up and down the fields to get this applied. So we'll swing around here, get this switched on. Okay, so that's not quite reaching the edge, so we will get going here. So we're going to get this lime spread all the way across the field. I'm hoping that I can get this put down. You know, let's actually make sure that that's doing something before we get that all. Okay, perfect. So what I'm hoping is that I can get this put down in front of where my worker is going to be putting down the seeds, and it's still going to apply it. It's not going to like erase it or anything like that. So we're gonna go one full pass here, and then we'll check that out. We'll see where the worker applies that next little bit of seed, where we've already put the lime, and we'll see if it's still there. I've never done it with a worker, so I'm not 100% sure how that's gonna work. So we'll stop here. We'll head down so you can see the worker there is about to cross over. So it's probably gonna look a little funky. Yeah. So what I'm hoping is that we jump in here. Needs lime. Alright, well, it's saying it doesn't need lime, so I think we're good. So we will jump back into the New Holland and continue with the lime work. Okay, we are getting towards the end of putting down the lime in this field. I did have to run back up to the store and buy another bag, but that is good to know for future that I do need to fill this all the way up. I think that had we done that the first time, we would have had enough to finish the field, but we're going to loop back around. Nice. Okay, so we can change the width. So let's go ahead and get that changed all the way down. Let's try that. Yeah, that's more than enough. So we will zip back down here and finish up the lime on this field and let the worker finish up with getting the seed put down. They're almost at the end there, so we're gonna let them do their thing and get that finished up. and that will be this field completed. So I think that was a good day. We got this field completely seeded, or we will when the worker gets done. And we got one application of fertilizer put down with that seeder that we're using. And then we were able to get some lime put down as well. So before we actually get this returned, I want to go and drop off the 23% of the lime that is left in here before we return it. We don't want to just lose out on that. So we're going to head back up to the farm and get that dropped off, and that is where we're going to end this episode. So thank you so much for being here. Leave a like, comment down below what type of animal you think we should go for first. Should we put sheep in, something easy? Should we put cows in? Let me know your thoughts there. But again, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate you spending time with us here on our Michigan farm, and we will see you next time.